What's up? What's up,
Hello.
Ammar?
Yeah, how you doing, man? You alright?
Doing good. Doing good.
Yeah, so so I wanted to talk about what were you talking about just now? Before this guy, you were talking to someone about the authenticity of your Bible. You did mention, what was it again? The Codex something?
Oh, you're talking about not this guy that I talked to, the one before.
Yeah, before.
Yeah, he claimed that the Bible was not, or the Injil was not corrupted during the time of Muhammad, but we have the Codex Sinaiticus, which is 300 years before Muhammad, that actually
The 4th century.
matches, yeah, that matches what the Christians have today.
Okay. Okay, just because that was in the 4th century, does that still prove though that was the original teachings of Jesus?
Well, if your Muslim brother said that it was not corrupted at that time, then that would mean that, yes.
No, I'm asking you, forget about me and my belief. I'm asking you right now. If it's from the 4th century and you tell me that that's, yes, yeah, it's very old. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, that's the oldest probably thing you guys have.
It's not the
But
oldest
how?
thing we have. No, that's incorrect. It's just
Okay,
a full, complete manuscript. So we
okay,
have
but how
manuscripts
do you
that are
know
even
that?
older than that. They're just not complete New Testaments.
Okay, but how do you know that from the 4th century that was actually Jesus' original teachings, though? That's my question.
Because we have historical backing to match to the church fathers that go back to the disciples that match those things.
Or what? Like what?
Like writings of the church fathers from the 1st century that have apostolic succession from the apostles.
So from the 1st century, you guys still have the writings from that?
From the church fathers? Yeah. Yeah, we do.
And it matches everything you guys believe in now?
Correct, yes.
So
Their theology matches. They quote the New Testament. Yes.
okay, I don't know. That's new to me. I've never heard that one before. From what I know is that the oldest thing you guys have was that Codex Sin.
It is
I
the
don't know.
oldest. It is the oldest complete manuscript that we have, because in those days things were written down in papyrus, which was very easy for it to fade away. It's like animal skin, so bugs can eat at it, and that's why there's sometimes when you see these manuscripts, it looks like somebody burnt it. It's because like bugs will eat away at it. So,
Okay.
but we also have Torahs. We discovered a Torah in the early 1900s, I think the 1940s, in the caves of Qumran, that are date 300 years prior to Jesus being born, and that Torah matches what the Jews and the Christians have today, which you
How do you
guys
know
would
that?
claim that it's corrupted.
How do you know though that it comes from? Let's say, for instance, the church fathers from the 1st century. How would you know that's authentic?
What do you mean that it's authentic?
Literally, what I mean. Like, how do you know that that is actually written from the 1st century from the church fathers?
No, I'm talking about the Dead Sea Scrolls, the Torah that was discovered.
Yeah, I know about the Dead Sea Scrolls, but I'm asking you, like, simply how, like, I'm genuinely asking, this is not like a debate thing. I'm asking you, how would you say, like, if I'm generally asking about its authenticity, how do you know that it comes from the 1st century?
Well, historians would date their writings back to the 1st century in different ways through through different manuscripts, textual criticism, things that would corroborate. I mean, there's a long process that goes into dating these things.
So you listen to what basically other people would just randomly say. There's no process.
You do too.
No, but I'm asking you, what you think I follow?
Yeah, bro.
What
I'm not a historian that goes and does it. I'm also not the one that put together these things. You as well. I mean, you guys follow a prophet who's a man. You follow the hadiths that are written by man. You follow the scholars who are men. Yeah, you do too.
Okay, I told, like, we can get into me in a second. I'm talking about you now. Like,
Ammar, but I'm saying you're presenting, like, you're asking a rhetorical question of like, so you listen to what other people say? Yes.
no,
That's what everybody does that for everything, right?
Yeah, but you're I'm not like that's you're comparing a prophet to historians. I'm not, like, that's different.
Well, you're assuming your guy. I don't believe your prophet is a prophet. You're assuming that, right?
Okay, so
And there was a point in time where you maybe didn't. I don't know if you always like every human at some point had to make a decision whether they believe Muhammad is a prophet or not, right? If they know about him. So at some point you would have to make a decision and say, oh yeah, he is a prophet, right? So the information that you're going to base that decision on is provided to you by other people. What are you like? What are you
no,
talking about?
I follow the Prophet because the Quran tells me.
Okay, and how do you know that the Quran's from God?
Because basically, I don't know if you believe in stylometry or if you believe in like the way that whole analysis works. But it's when they looked at the hadiths and compared it to what Muhammad used to say and just everyone with how everyone used to be, it's impossible. Like it came back and it's impossible that it could have been from any other human.
What? How that could be impossible that it came from any other human? How?
I just said it to you.
Bro, stylometry, all it does is analyze as far as like patterning on how to write. Just because you do a stylometric analysis and it doesn't match what the hadith wrote or anything like that, doesn't mean now all of a sudden every human on the world is now eliminated as being a person that could have written it. All that means is that you just don't know who wrote it. That's all that means. And it wasn't the Sahaba, it wasn't Muhammad, I guess. That's all that would analysis mean. It doesn't mean no human can do it, dude.
Well, of course it does, because no human has been able to do it. Like what?
Dude, but I'm saying you're concluding that this came from God because of a stylometric analysis.
But that's not the only reason. Obviously, there's a lot of
well,
other
dude,
things
well then get to the reason, because I said, how do you know this came from God? You brought up a stylometric analysis that doesn't conclude that. So what does conclude it?
That helps the point, though.
No, it doesn't. It just all it says is that you guys don't have the manuscript. Look, if I was the one to write a book, right?
Okay.
And that's the only thing that you guys have to analyze as far as me writing this book. And now you guys are trying to see who wrote this. And you go to everyone else who has writings and different writings and you compare it and it doesn't match. Just because it doesn't match to the short list of people that you analyze it against doesn't mean now no human could have written it. All it means is that you just don't know who I am. I'm just anonymous. You never found another writing of mine that would identify me. That's all that means.
Okay, then I guess I need to bring a stronger argument then instead of that. Okay. I mean, I guess the things that are said in the Quran, like there's a lot of things that, for instance, that people back then wouldn't know, but it's happened now.
Okay. How does that prove it's from God?
I mean, let me ask you this: who knows the future?
The future about what?
Just the future. Who knows the future about anything?
I mean, there's people that can predict the future.
What?
Yeah.
Like who?
Like weathermen.
What the? No, I'm not talking about weather, man. I'm talking about just in general, like the future.
Don't they predict what's going to happen in the future?
Well, are they 100% correct always?
No, but are they pretty accurate?
Sometimes.
Okay. So if humans can be accurate in predicting the future consistently, why couldn't Satan be able to predict the future?
That's what are you on about? I'm saying sometimes.
Okay.
Are you one of those that claim the Quran?
You think the weathermen are like mostly wrong?
I never said mostly wrong.
Okay. Are they consistently right?
I wouldn't say consistently right, but most of the time they're right, yeah.
Okay, so most of the time would be consistently right, yes. So
well, no, what does consistency mean though?
Consistency means most of the time you're right.
Is it most of the time or is it all the time?
No, it would mean most of the time. Consistency would mean like in a period of time, the majority of it, you're pretty consistent.
Well, from my definition, I know that
consistency doesn't necessarily mean perfection, dude. Like for example, if somebody says I'm going to run every day, I'm going to run every day, and they miss a day, but they keep on going in a span of 60 days. Were they consistent?
They were only consistent for 6 days, but then that one day they weren't consistent.
Okay.
So what?
Okay, bro. All right. Are they right most of the time? Let's just change the wording then.
I literally said yes, most of the time. Yes.
Okay, good. So if they're right if humans can be right most of the time in predicting the future, then why couldn't Satan, who has a better scope or a better view of things, and he has more information than humans, why couldn't he be mostly right?
So is that a claim that Satan could have written the Quran?
Yes.
But that's just a stupid thing.
Okay, why?
Because why the hell would Satan curse himself in the Quran?
How is he cursing himself?
What the hell? Like, have you read the Quran, my friend?
Yes, just because he's cursing Shaitan doesn't mean he's cursing himself. What does
What the hell?
Shaitan
Just
just
because
means,
Satan curses Satan doesn't mean he's cursing
is
himself. Are
Satan a
you looking
name?
to yourself?
Is Satan a name?
I'm asking you.
Is Satan a name?
What do you mean is Satan a name? Shaitan. It's the Shaitan.
Is that a name or is his name Iblis?
Oh my. Okay, you're talking about Iblis now. Okay, yeah, Iblis. Okay.
Isn't that Satan?
I mean, obviously.
Okay, so Satan is not a proper name, dude. It comes from the Hebrew of Satan, and it just means adversary.
Okay.
Okay, so Satan is cursing his adversary. Who's his adversary?
Who? You tell me.
Who do you
Educate me.
think his adversary is, dude? Come on, man.
You educate me, man. Come on, tell me.
Okay, bro. So you're checking out now?
Who's checking out? I'm telling you something.
Dude,
that
it's not a trick question. Who is Satan's adversary?
I don't know what adversary means. I'm sorry.
Adversary is somebody who opposes you. Who opposes Satan?
Who goes against Satan? You mean?
Yes.
I mean, God.
Thank you. So just because he's saying I'm cursing my opposer doesn't mean that he's cursing himself.
Okay, so what's Satan's job? Let me ask you that.
To deceive people.
Okay, would someone that deceives people tell them not to lie?
Yeah, in order to deceive them into thinking that he's God. Yeah.
Are you all right? Just a good.
Are you all right? Are you all right?
No,
if Satan were,
are you good?
Hold on. Is Satan capable of would he want to deceive people into thinking he's God? Yes or no?
I mean, yes, of course.
So then why would it be out of the realm of his deception to tell people to do good things in order to deceive those people into thinking that he himself is God? Why would that be so absurd?
Okay, so when he tells them to do good things in what sense?
In any sense. Huh? In any sense, in order to convince them that he's God. Okay, when a guy who wants to kidnap a kid, when he goes to the kid and say, "Oh my gosh, your parents sent me. Your parents are hurt. Let's go help them," and then snatches them in the van, just because he said that good thing to go help the parents, doesn't mean that his intentions are good. Like Satan could do the same thing.
Okay, so when it says, for instance, that it's haram for us to listen to music. So when it's haram to listen to music, why would it say that? Because music was invented by Shaitan.
In order to convince you that he is God.
So basically he's helping me to get closer to God by telling me all the
How do you know now you're making an assumption that you're actually worshiping God.
But no, that's just you being absurd. You're just
no, Ammar, if you are worshiping the God of the Quran, the question that we derive to here is, how do you even know that that's even the right God? What if you're actually getting closer to Satan?
Because that's just impossible.
Why? Okay, why? Why is that impossible?
Because your whole claim is he would make you do good in order to deceive you.
No, nobody's making you do anything, but he would tell you to do good things in order for you to believe that he himself is God. Yes. Why would that be so absurd?
Because the whole purpose of Satan is not to make you do good, but to do
bad.
The
purpose of Satan would one of Satan's purposes be to get him to deceive you into thinking he's God so you can worship him? Is that something that could be plausible as one of his purposes?
I mean, when I was raised, I wasn't raised to worship him. It was
I know that, Ammar. I know that. Yeah. That's how deception works, into making you think you're doing the right thing, but you're not. Right? Okay. Is it plausible to assume that Satan could want to deceive people into thinking that he himself is God and then get people to worship him? Is that plausible?
Yes, that could be the case.
Okay,
yes.
then. So then you can't say it's impossible for him to do all the things that I'm saying.
Yes, but I'm saying when you read the Quran from A to Z, you'll understand that there's no such thing as, it's hard to explain it, man. It's just impossible from like reading the Quran's words and all that.
Do you know what cognitive dissonance is? Do you know what that is?
No,
you should look it up, brother. Cognitive dissonance. Okay, so let me read you the official definition of it, so I don't mess it up. I just want you to look at this, and then I'm not even trying to be funny on this, because I'm going to read the definition. You can look it up, and I really want you to, just when you get a chance, not even on the stream, really ask yourself if this describes you. Okay.
What's the
So
word?
cognitive dissonance. Cognitive. I'll put it. If somebody could type it in the chat while I read the definition to him, that'll be nice. So cognitive dissonance is the psychological discomfort or tension people feel when they hold two or more conflicting ideas, beliefs, or values, or when their actions contradict their beliefs. This uncomfortable mental state motivates individuals to reduce the dissonance by changing their attitudes or behaviors, rationalizing their actions, or dismissing the conflicting information to restore internal consistency. This is what's happening to you right now. You're admitting that it's perfectly okay, like that it's not absurd to assume that Satan could deceive people into thinking he's God. But you're trying to reject it because if you are going to accept that it's plausible, then that it makes you uncomfortable because now you have to bring evidence that it can't be Satan, and you can't do that. That's the craziness. And because you want to remain consistent internally, you're going to reject it and say that's stupid. That's stupid. It's impossible. No, it's not.
Because when I say it's impossible, is because for instance, like, so you think let's say like I pray 5 times a day. Do you think Satan's making me pray 5 times a day to him?
Yes.
That's what you believe.
Why would that be absurd to believe that? If the Quran is from Satan, then you would be facing one direction towards Satan. Why? Why would that be so absurd?
Because okay, is giving charity good or bad?
It's good.
Okay, and would Satan tell you to give charity?
In order to convince you that he's God, yes.
Okay, is fasting good or bad?
It's good.
Okay, would Satan do that?
If he's telling you to fast towards him as if he is God, yes.
So you can use that claim for anything then? Of
course you can. This is called epistemic questions. You're supposed to, how do you know that this is actually God?
Because the way we know Satan and Iblis and all that stuff is that the whole point of Iblis is to not allow us to pray to God and do all these things. You coming and saying that, you could be you're praying to Satan and all that stuff is just an absurd thing, because that you mean you can just say that, I could be praying to a jinn, I can be praying to this, I can be praying to anything.
Ammar,
but that's just
Ammar,
stupid.
If and I'm going to give you a crazy hypothetical, but just follow me, okay?
Mhm.
If I have a statue out back, and I truly believe that this statue, the embodiment of the statue, is the creator of the universe, genuinely, and I prostrate and I bow down and I say, I am worshiping the creator. Just because I genuinely believe that, does that mean it's actually the creator?
No.
Okay. So just because someone believes or their intentions are good doesn't mean that that's going to be the truth, right? So if Satan, it is perfectly plausible for Satan to deceive people into thinking he's God and have billions of people genuinely believe they're worshiping the creator of the universe, but actually be deceived. Like, you may wake up in the morning and say, I truly believe I'm worshiping the creator. I'm gonna go to the masjid. I'm gonna prostrate 5 times a day. I'm gonna do my daily prayers. I'm gonna fast during Ramadan. I'm gonna do all these things because I believe the creator sent me the Quran, and I'm actually doing these things in my heart towards the creator. That doesn't necessarily mean, just like the person I'm giving you with the statue, doesn't necessarily mean just because your intentions are good that actually means it's the creator. There needs to be evidence towards that.
So what's your evidence that it's not from God?
Well, I mean, for example, Allah gives a challenge, and it says that if you have doubts about the stories that we have revealed to you, go to the people that read the scriptures before you. Now, you would agree that's the Christians and the Jews, right? Okay. Were they corrupted during the 7th century?
Well, like fully corrupted? No.
Fully corrupted, little corrupted, doesn't matter. Was it corrupted?
Well, it doesn't matter. So it wasn't fully corrupted. There was still some truth to it. Yes.
Okay, it wasn't fully corrupted. Still some truth to it. Okay. Now, why would Allah send me to corrupted books in order for me to confirm something within the Quran if I have doubts about it?
Was he sending him to corrupted books, though?
Yes. If you believe they were corrupted during the time of Muhammad, yes.
What did I say?
You said they weren't fully corrupted.
Okay, so does that mean he's sending him to corrupted books?
Yes, they're corrupted still. Yes.
Okay, so when I tell you that it wasn't fully corrupted, Doesn't God also warn about the people that have changed the scripture?
Okay. And how do I know, how am I supposed to determine what's corrupted, what's not in the 7th century?
I mean, the prophet would know.
It says here, it's talking to the prophet. If you, O prophet, have any doubt. So if he had doubt about the Quran, I know he didn't, but if he had doubt about the Quran, why is he sending them to corrupted books? What would he use to determine what's corrupted and what's not?
Because then he would have obviously went back to a group of people that that referred to when Jesus orally preached the actual book. Because when it refers to in the Quran about the actual Injil, it refers to the one that has been sent to Jesus. When he orally preached it. When you keep saying, "Oh, why is he being sent to corrupted books?" That's just absurd. Because I just told you, on the 7th century, yes, there was some truth to it. That's why we have the Quran that fully preserved it properly, so you can actually see what the actual truth is. That's why God warned us about those people,
Ammar,
like what you guys believe.
What was my question?
You told me, why would the prophet go to corrupted books?
No, I said, how would he determine what's corrupted and what's not?
Because it will align.
Align with what?
With the Quran.
So anything that aligns in these corrupted books with the Quran are the not corrupted books?
Bro, you're confusing me. Please go slower.
Okay. How would I know if I have doubts about the Quran? It sends me over to people who read corrupted books. You're saying it's not fully corrupted. Okay. So that means there's some truth, there's some not, it's not truth. How would I be able to determine what's true and what's not in these corrupted books, or not fully corrupted books, but corrupted books? How would I know?
Okay, I mean, when the prophet, this is talking to the prophet, so we obviously wouldn't know what the prophet could see back then because we don't have the original teachings. You believe you do, I don't believe you do. But then obviously the prophet, what was his goal? What was he doing? What was he telling people to do?
So we're not going to answer my question.
I'm just coming to your question. But what was he telling it? What was he telling people to do? To worship one God, correct?
Okay, great. Well, how does this answer my question? Yes, how does that answer my question, dude?
Okay, so if he goes to the corrupted, if he goes to something and it says anything that opposes that would be corrupted, no? So he wouldn't follow it, right?
The Christians and the Jews do claim to worship one God still.
Okay, they claim to worship one God, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Only one God. So there's no Jesus, there's no this, and there's no that, right?
The Christians would still claim to worship one God, even though there's a Trinity. Yes, they still make that claim. So if I was in the 7th century, they would all say one God. Now they would have different meanings as to what that is, but still, that doesn't answer my question. How would I know what's corrupted and what's not?
Because I just told you, if it opposes what his message was to him to actually say the Quran about what's in the Quran.
But how do I know? But how do I know that the thing that you're saying that aligns with the Quran is not corrupted? How do I know that? How do I know they didn't corrupt it in order to align with the Quran, in order to make me think the Quran's true?
Wait, say that again.
How would I know that those verses that align with the Quran are not corrupted? How would I know that?
How do you know that the Quran is not corrupted?
No. How would I know that the verses that are in line with the Quran, the verses in the corrupted books that are in line with the Quran, how would I know that those verses are not corrupted?
I'm so I don't know if I'm probably slow right now.
Oh my God, dude. Okay, if I go to the gospel at the time of Muhammad and I read on there and it says worship one God. Okay? Or when Jesus says love God with all your heart, mind, and soul, right? Okay. You would say that's good. That's a good thing. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good. That's in line with the Quran. Now, how would I know that verse that says that is not corrupted? How would I know that?
Because it doesn't oppose the Quran.
But I'm having doubts about the Quran. So the Quran's not going to be my standard here. Remember, in 1094, it says, if you have doubts about the Quran. So I have doubts about the Quran. So just because it aligns with the Quran doesn't necessarily clear up my doubt, because I already have doubts about the Quran. So without the Quran, how would I know that verse is not corrupted?
Because like I said, there'll be people from that time that were also a very trusted group that from what I've learned, that came from basically the times of Jesus.
And how would I know those people are to be trusted? How would I know that?
How do you know anyone then is to be trusted?
Because you have good reasons, you have evidence. But who are these people you're referring to, and how would I know that they're trustworthy, that they have the authentic?
I mean, they come back from a chain. They'll probably
what
be
chain?
Like a chain?
What chain?
Like a chain of people. That's how
like
you
what?
understand
Like what chain?
authentic.
Give me an example of who comes back from what chain.
Like mass transmission or something. If that
okay,
makes
but
sense.
what chain? What chain are you referring to?
Chain
you
of
can't.
People.
You can't just assume they had a chain and then don't provide a chain. You can't say, oh, yeah, there was a chain of people that you could have done. And then when I say what chain, you say, I don't know. You can't say that, dude. Like, you're just making stuff up.
How am I making stuff up?
Because can you provide this chain that you're referring to that would solidify what's corrupt and what's not during the 7th century?
I'm talking about the people, the group of people that okay. For instance, that would receive that stuff.
Who are these groups of people? Who?
Well, I'm not sure. I don't know.
Then that's what my point, dude. So you're just saying stuff. You don't even actually know.
It's probably there, but I probably haven't.
Then you don't know the answer. Just say I don't know. Just I don't know the answer. You can't stop saying stuff just to make it seem like you're getting out of it, dude. You don't know the answer. Who are these people? I don't know. Well, these people have a chain and stuff. Okay, who? I don't know, dude. That's not like. Come on, dude. If I was to do that, if you were to ask me the questions about my Bible and I answered the way you just did. You would never accept that.
All right.
So the answer is there is no way to determine this. Nobody has an answer to this. Like, how do you know what's corrupted, what's not without the Quran? The only way a Muslim would determine what's corrupted or not during this time is with the assumption that the Quran is from God, which we've already, like, we went around circles already. How do we know this is from God, right? Like. Mm-hmm. So you would have to already presuppose that the Quran is from God in order for you to determine what's corrupted, what's not in the 7th century. But 1094 is referencing a person who is having doubts about the Quran. And and what it's instructing is, in order for you to clear up your doubt, go to the people of the previous books. But those books, according to most Muslims, are corrupted. That's a problem. Why would that, Why would he tell you to go to corrupted books unless he knows that there's a way for you to determine what's corrupt and what's not without the Quran? And there isn't a method of that.
I'm pretty sure there is an answer to it, but then I think maybe next time I need to actually see the answer properly.
Okay, brother. Well, nice talking to you. Have a good day.
Thank you.
Yep, God bless. Had to go a little hard on him because he was pushing back, but he's a nice guy. I don't need to press too hard on guys that are genuinely nice. He at least admits at some point that he just doesn't know the answer, which is respectable.